Welcome back everybody to my April's Easter egg hunt review series. An interesting thing to note about the jackets that the biker gang wears in the film, they say demons, which I read that it's actually a reference to Demoni. I think I said the name right. The Italian film that's translated as Demons here. A little cool little reference to Italian cinema. In today's episode, I'm going to be reviewing the 1989 film Nightmare Beach. This film actually had two directors, but one was more in like an advisory role. If you don't know what Nightmare Beach is about, it's about, well, after the execution of a motorcycle gang leader convicted of murder, a helmeted biker goes on a killing spree during spring break in Florida. The film begins on the eve of the framed biker Diablo's execution, who curses those who put him there. So they kind of set up like an interesting supernatural angle to the film in regards to the killer that comes back and that the biker killer. The opening credits sequence perfectly sets up the setting of the film. It's just a pan over a bunch of, it's a bunch of overhead shots over top of beaches and stuff, showing spring breakers everywhere, packed beaches and stuff like that. It's well shot. The soundtrack is awesome. It really feels like an 80s film with the soundtrack. So it's well acted, well paced, the stunts are well executed. The mystery angle of the film is great, and it's also perfectly executed, and it's set in such a way that you don't actually see the twist of who, like the big reveal of who the motorcycle killer is. It's perfectly edited to showcase the story and the emotions that the main character goes through, who's just really there to find out what's happening to his friend, but they also kind of set up the cop as a potential person behind that motorcycle helmet, and creating an almost like an unlikable character for him, but really he's just doing his job and following what the mayor wants to do, which is cover up all these murders so that it doesn't deter spring breakers from coming to visit the town. This film actually stars a couple well-known actors. John Saxon, who you might know from Nightmare on Elm Street, and I think Michael Parks as well. And I know Michael Parks from the film Red State by Kevin Smith. I felt every storyline that they kind of set up in the film was tied up properly, and then they do kind of foreshadow the reveal throughout the film if you're able to pick up on those certain pieces, which is really cool. Looking back on it, you can see that they were sprinkling in stuff, and then when you rewatch it, it's like, okay, that sets up the reveal and stuff like that. The original director, Umberto Lenzi, requested, well, after having issues with the producer, I guess he asked to be taken off the film because it had a similar story to a previous film that he made called 7 Bloodstained Orchids. Now, I don't know how close these two films are. And speaking of films that are probably similar, I was also reading that John Saxon was also in a film called Blood Beach, which apparently had similar setup, except the killer in Blood Beach was a sand monster, whereas this one was a motorcycle killer. So I highly recommend you watch it if you get a chance. I'm not sure if it's on any streaming services at the moment, but you can always get the DVD off of Amazon. I'd give it a 9.9. I was really amazed with the execution of everything, and just everything about the film, editing, lighting, everything was just really well done. Stay tuned for the rest of the films. Got some pretty weird ones coming up, so see you in the next one.